without the webinars. The gold level is with the 12 weekly webinars.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. Yes.
Okay. We're speaking with Ligia Houben. She has written she has written Transform Your Life, Your Guide to Strength and Hope, but now has an online 12-week course called The 11 Principles of Transformation, which we're going to get more into after we take this short break on top.
You can plan a getaway weekend to the Florida Keys August 28th through August 30th and take advantage of the 5th Annual Museum and Attractions Weekend, brought to you by WLRN and the Monroe County Tourist Development Council. 21 museums and attractions from the Upper Keys to Key West offer special entry to WLRN listeners who present the admissions flyer. A list of participating venues and attractions can be found at WLRN.org. Click on the Florida Keys and Key West Museum Weekend banner to print out the weekend pass.
On the next South Florida Arts Beat, please tune in for a live performance by the esteemed Amornay String Quartet, the ensemble in residence at FIU. We'll be joined by violinists Misha Wittenson and Tomas Coty, violist Michael Klotz, and cellist Jason Calloway. Don't miss it, a live performance from our WLRN studios Friday at 1 on South Florida Arts Beat.
Many corporations match their employees' charitable contributions. If yours is among them, you can easily increase the impact of your gift, in some cases by 100% or even more. For a list of matching gift companies, visit WLRN.org, and thanks.
You don't need a radio to listen to the radio. Look for the Listen Live button at WLRN.org. On your laptop, desktop, smartphone, and tablet, you can listen to WLRN anywhere and everywhere. Listen live at WLRN.org.
And welcome back to Thursday's Topical Currents. Joseph Cooper, Bonnie Berman, and we're speaking with Ligia Houben. She is the author of Transform Your Loss, that's your loss, your guide to strength and hope, and offers a 12-week online coaching program called The 11 Principles of Transformation. So we're going to get to more of the principles. The first one is acceptance, but you've branched out now, it seems, and are trying to work more with veterans with PTSD. Is that correct?
Oh, thank you for mentioning that. Well, that is one of the population that I think would be great to do the program. And I'll tell you why. Because when the first website for the book was created, Transform Your Loss, I hired someone who was referred to me. And this guy sent me an email saying, Ms. Houben, I want to speak with you. I sent him the book as a gift. So he called me and he said, well, I just read your book. He said, I am a veteran. He was 29 years old. He had lost a leg. And he said, Ms. Houben, we need that book. We need those principles. That's the philosophy we need when we come back. And that touched my heart. That did, because I said, wow, this young man, and he was so empowered because he said, we go through loss and we grieve, yes, and it's so important to recognize that. However, it depends how we take it. It depends if we want to continue. So I always remember what he told me, and I said, you know what, maybe this time with the online program, it's the perfect platform to make this happen.
Well, not only can they lose limbs, they lose their friends in front of them. They lose their life as they know it.
Yeah, because that's what we call multiple losses. Because sometimes we go through one primary loss, and then we may have secondary losses, right, which are multiple losses. So that makes it
You said there are different categories of loss. Can you categorize how you see the categories of loss?
The way I see it is like loss is when something that, someone very dear to us is not with us anymore, or something as well. And, the greatest for me, it's the loss of a loved one to death. But there are, loss of relationships, divorce, loss of a job. That's a huge one. Financial losses, loss of homeland for immigrants, so many losses that we go, even aging. when we lose our youth. Yes, when I have had the live seminars, I have had several people, in particular women, sharing that, how difficult it is to accept we are aging, because we are all aging. Depends how we take it. When we take care of our aging parents, that's a huge one. I'm taking care of my beloved mother. She's 96, and that touches your heart. When you see the difficulties, physical difficulties and all that. So we go through transition, empty nest. When children go away to college, and the mother comes and tells you, Ligia, I'm missing my child. So sometimes mixed emotions. Something makes you happy, excited, and proud. She went to college. At the same time, you go to the empty room and say, oh, I miss her. So, so many transitions that we go through in life.
You use the term emotional depletion. I guess I know what that means, but why don't you tell me?
Emotional depletion. It's when we just feel empty. We feel empty. When something very hard happens to us, we have that void. It's like you're drained. You feel totally depleted. And it's like when you are that empty, it's like you feel hopeless. And hopeless is, doesn't give you any meaning to continue. So when we feel depleted emotionally and hopeless, it's when you need that help. Someone, whoever it is, that comes to you and says, you know what, I am here for you. I'm here next to you to help you get that hope again for a brighter future.
We're speaking with Ligia Houben. She's the author of Transform Your Loss, Your Guide to Strength and Hope, and has an online coaching program called the 11 Principles of Transformation. If you have a question for Ligia or a comment, our number is 1-800-743-9576. We have a little bit of time.
Might be faster to email. That's radio@WLRN.org.
radio@WLRN.org. One question I feel like I need to ask you is, what makes your course different from other methods that we have been exposed to or go through with loss, like, whatever they may be?
Okay, thank you for the question too. The idea of putting together perennial principles, core principles, because I talk a lot about being grateful, forgiveness, loving yourself, taking care of yourself. So it's going through the process. The first two principles are strong ones, no?
Okay,
going through the grief, accept your loss and live your grief. Go through grief.
Okay.
Yes, you cannot ignore it,
right,
because what we ignore doesn't cease to exist. It's repressed. But after those first two principles, everything goes like empowering, embracing, being grateful, taking care of yourself, expressing your feelings, because sometimes we go around in life wearing a mask, concealing our real feelings. It's important to express. It's different than dwelling, but expressing, sharing with others. So different principles put together that is a positive outlook to life. I would say that is the difference. Yes, that you go through the grief, but you don't stay there. You continue embracing life.
And what is the line between going through it and dwelling on it? Where is that fine line?
I call it, when you are dwelling, it's when you are complaining all the time. When you stay like in a victim role, because we may stay there.
Right.
And some people need to be there for some time. But that is the difference when you are dwelling or when you are sharing.
Okay,
so that's the difference.
So one is complaining, the other is
exactly, just dwelling, this happened, the other one, this happened to me. What to do about it?
Right.
Okay, you share what to do about it. Yes.
And we have a caller here, Ginny in Redland. Hi there.
Hi, I just wanted to make a comment that I lost my mother 13 years ago, a little over 13 years ago, and my sister 5 days later. And I had that numbness, that sense of emptiness. I totally relate to what she was talking about at that time. My mother was very, very dear to me. But my father, who was just died a few months ago, lived in my house for 13 years. He was 97 plus. And I've dealt with that much better, but I can tell you that with every day that passes or each, I feel like he's disappearing. I don't know if she understands that feeling. But anyway.
Well, let's ask her. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ligia.
Stay on the line.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing, and my heart goes out to you for the losses that you know, your mother, your father, and your sister. And the thing is that the grief that we experience it has to do a lot with attachment as well, with the relationship, and every single loss is different. And the way that we express grief, which is the natural response to a loss, is different. So maybe back then, when you lost your mom, your mother, you experienced it differently, and you express it differently with that emptiness that you shared, and with your dad now, different as well. So, and it has to do with where you are, you know, how you have dealt, because that also has to do based on the history of your losses. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Again, our numbers, thank you, 1-800-743-9576. Ligia, we experience loss usually as an emotional issue, but you talk about how it extends to every aspect of our lives, including physically. Talk about that a little.
Yes, well, yes, and I can relate to that because, and it's like when I confirmed all this, no? Last year, at the beginning of last year, I was hit by a car while crossing the street. And I almost lost a leg, and I needed reconstructive surgery. I feel so grateful and blessed to be here. And, my head was, open, lost consciousness. So it was really serious. And it's when I realized, of course, that was a huge loss because it was a loss of health. And something that I discovered that made me think, wow, this is so amazing. Because I try to get whatever experience I have in life, like a learning experience, so I can learn to live better and I can help my clients as well. So when I went through that loss, I experienced one loss which is huge. The loss of independence. The loss of independence. And that gave me great awareness because a population that I have worked extensively in the past is older adults. So it said, oh my God, this is really huge when we lose our independence and we depend on others. So that is another loss, that it has to do with how we take it.
Well, do we have... Oh, okay. And it also can manifest, though, when I was thinking physically, not just the physical loss, but it can also we get sick.
Yes, when exactly, the loss of health. And again, we go through different processes, treatment, procedures, the fear, of course, that you do not know the outcome. Again, so it's focusing on what you can do about it, because something happens to us, an event, an illness, whatever happens to us, it depends how we respond. Yes.
We're going to take that call. We better get them
Okay.
in. Angelica in Deerfield. Hi there.
Hello.
Yeah,
I
go
would
ahead.
love to ask a question. How do I deal with this? My children, I have 3, and 2 of them are with me in America. They are adults of course already, 39 and 35, and they are totally detached from me, what I can hardly handle. And I don't know how to handle it.
Okay. Thank you for
This was
sharing.
my guilt feeling. I left their father. I'm divorced because of situations in life. So how can I handle that?
Okay, thank you for asking. So you have 2 children here with you, and that is something that you made that decision to come here, and it was important for you to make that decision, and you are with your children. So, and yes, it is painful, and you go through that, and you can do different things, to write about it, to help you with the feelings, but again, to focus on what you have here now, which are your other 2 children. So that is important.
Okay, good
No,
luck.
thank you very much, but this was misunderstood. My 2 children I brought here, I raised here, and just a couple of years ago, they were just going away from me, and I don't understand that.
Okay.
This is what I don't understand. Yeah.
Okay, so now it is difficult to accept. I understand that, but We need to process that, and there are ways that you can do that, maybe, writing about it, finding ways to be in touch with them, but we need to let go. They're just telling me that. So,
yeah, unfortunately, we're so sorry, Angelica, but we do have to go. We've been speaking, and we wish you well. We've been speaking with Ligia Houben. She's a life coach, grief counselor, and author. She's the founder of My Meaningful Life and executive director of the Center for Transforming Lives in Miami. The 11 Principles of Transformation.com is the website. We didn't get to Ambassadors of Transformation.com. I'm sorry, Ligia. And the book is entitled Transform Your Loss, Your Guide to Strength and Hope. We thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you, Joe. And thank you, gentlemen.
Food and dining is next.
Illegal dumping is a serious crime that can harm the environment and make neighborhoods look bad. If you witness illegal dumping, you can report it by